maybe you think, oh, well, I don't feel like I can teach children. Fine, you don't have to work with the children at all. You can make copies for the teachers. You can help organize their classrooms. You can work different functions, like we have something we call an osprey store. The kids earn what we call osprey wings because we are the ospreys. And then they get to spend that, and it's for good behavior, I should say. Those rewards come from good behavior. Then they get to spend that money at our osprey store. But we need volunteers to run that store. So that's something easy that you could do. Morning car duty. We need people to open car doors. We need people to open car doors in the afternoon. There is a job for everyone if you are interested. And so if you are thinking, what could I do to help this little community school? I would say that's the number one thing you can do. Anything else you want me to speak about? Donations, of course. I send out a community letter. Yes, I know you've been a big contributor to that. We have, like I said, free and reduced lunch. 100% of our students receive a free breakfast and free lunch every single day. They don't have to pay any money for that. We also have a program that is a snack for the weekend. We call it the snack backpack, I believe is the cute name we give it. That donations come into us and we fill these backpacks up for these students to send home on the weekend so they can have to eat over the weekend. But it's never enough. We can always use more money to help support these needy families. Sometimes their power's being shut off and they're asking us for resources for things like that. Or they just had a fire, they don't have money for school clothes or a backpack or something like that. So any donations, if maybe time is not possible for you, you're still working or too busy, money donations are always accepted as well, and such a good use. And we always try to take a picture of whatever we use your money for and send it to you so you can see what your money's done and how it's done. Did we keep up good with you with the families that we helped this year? Or last year? Well, it was in school year, so it was for last year. But yeah. So, we won't take any donations. Alright. Any questions for me about the school or? I have one. Yeah. As far as the rate of donations, you said you have the backpack snack thing. Would y'all accept donations of snacks or, like food, I'm sorry, not food, but like clothes?
We need lots of clothes, gently used clothes we accept all the time. Little kids have accidents a lot, so we have something called a clothes closet. And when they've had an accident at school, we can go in there, we can get them some clean clothes, so that they don't have to wear whatever reason they've had an accident. It could be something that they spilled their juice in the lunchroom and they need a new shirt. So yes, food donations, the teachers would love that because we don't want any kid to be hungry. And so if they say, I'm really hungry, the teachers are usually spending their own money to purchase those items and keep them in their classrooms, and then they feed those students whenever they need a snack. We also reward with candy. We all here are working for a paycheck. Students would work for candy. So any candy donations would be greatly appreciated because that's another reward that we do give to these students. So yes.
Have you ever pushed during the tax-free holidays, the school supplies?
Yes.
Have you ever pushed a drive during that time?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we have a school board member right now, Sally Moss, and she does a huge drive district-wide and collects donations of school supplies for us. And what we do at our school, and I'm sure probably the other elementaries in the county do the same thing, is when we have an event called Meet the Teacher, that's when they first come in, they find out who their teacher for the new year is. We put all those school supplies out in a room along with their school supply list, and we advertise saying, hey listen, don't buy school supplies yet, come through, see what we have, get everything that we have, and then get your supplies after that. So yeah, we have a huge try for that. And then
I'm saying, does that coincide with the state's tax-free holiday?
I would hope that's when the parents or the people are buying it, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you have a specific drive during that time.
Yes. Sally Moss's drive starts probably in July and goes through the beginning of the school, when the school starts around August 10th.
This last month they had along with the hurricane too.
Yeah. And I was going to say also the Methodist Church here at the lake donated $1,000 this year. And they just said use it on whatever supplies you need. So now that school's been in session for a few weeks, I've contacted all the teachers and said, what's some extra things that you guys need now? And they told me, dry erase markers. It's the things that you don't think about in the school drive, not necessarily 3 ring binders, some odd type things like that. Kindergarten teachers need these pencil boxes that
But
stand on their
that brings up
desk.
another point. Because year round, you're tax-free. You just donate money to the school,
That's right.
they can always buy a tax-free.
That's right. Always.
And you know what you want.
That's right.
So bottom line, just give it up.
Good point.
All right.
Quick question. I live in Montgomery Acres, and I sit out in the morning with my coffee on the porch, and I can hear the kids when they sing.
Yes.
And salute the flag. And
Yes.
all that. Has that always been a tradition?
Yes, yes. It's not just the Lake Panasoffkee Elementary, but our superintendent thinks that's very important, and so it's an expectation.
So it goes out through the home to.
Well, every school does their own. You know, it's an expectation that every day starts with.
Can I request music? Because I know the play songs all the time
Absolutely,
too.
send them to me. I'll see if I can get them on there for you.
They say the pledge too.
They say the pledge,
I
you
hear
know,
it all.
anthem, and a moment of silence.
Do you always have a person sing?
It's just recorded.
Oh, is it? Oh,
It's just
recorded?
recorded.
Oh, I thought you actually had the students that
No,
always sing.
they do all the announcements. I don't know if you get to hear
Yeah,
that.
I can.
Yes, they do all the announcements for our students and student level. Our 5th graders are safety control. Diane, if you want to volunteer to sing?
No. No, I'm over that.
Yeah. Two great questions. Anybody else?
When will you start your,
They just take a field trip to like SeaWorld. That's what our 5th graders do. So we start that. We start fundraising right away. So we have to spread them out because we can't have one fundraiser going at a time. But our first big fundraiser for the 5th grade or for field trips in general happens October. It's a half day, and we do a readathon. So the kids have to read books and get pledges for that. And then we do a dance at the end of the day, and that money goes towards our field trip. That'll be our first big one. All right, thank you.
My name is Tina. I joined Charles and Missy after the whole gazebo thing went down. I'm going to take this from Andy. I just want to remind everyone that we don't get paid for any of this. We're all volunteers here. We're not public officials. We're not, we're not on any power trip. We're just trying to inform the community. We don't, we're just informing the community. We're not representing any political party or, any of that kind of stuff. So jumping right into the abandoned properties, because there was a lot of controversy because I had made a post on Facebook about code enforcement. As of today, there has been 29 properties turned in. Now those properties, I myself did not turn those in. So, because I know a lot of people have a target on my head, I just wanted to clarify that. We do have pictures up here if you guys want to see some of the properties that we've turned in. They're all abandoned properties that I know of that's been turned in. We've made pictures of them, and the only reason why we want to turn those properties in is because we don't want, obviously, the drug people hanging out, making a home. At one of the county meetings that we went to, there was a lady that she was babysitting this property for over 7 years. And it was a vacant piece of property, and there were squatters on there. After 7 years, those squatters have rights. So a lot of people don't know that. So that's why it's very important, if you see an abandoned place, turn it in, or give it to me and I'll turn it in. Because it's just going to be a hazard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure we all here sitting here are concerned about our community. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
You turn them in. Is there anything that we've done about them?
The one building down here.
Yeah, one inspector, right?
There's one inspector, The one duplex that was down here where all the garbage was sitting out, that actually went up for auction August 31st. That's what that orange sign was on that building.
What about the one that was, what was it?
The one down here, that is in a, yes, that is in a, life estate. So that one's gonna take some time.
It's a hazard.
They have to, what the county has to do is they have to get a hold of all the descendants before they can do anything about it, and they might not be able to even do anything. I don't know, what the stipulations are on how long they can go with vacant property, but I know that this lady, if you look on the tax record, she's probably in her 90s. She's probably not even living. And if she is, God rest her soul. Hopefully she is still around, but yes.
If you go on the county's website, you can find all of the statutes on code enforcement. I spent 10.5 years on the code enforcement board. You gotta be very careful what you do, and you can't exaggerate yourself, and actually cover yourself too. If girls are going out and reporting. But there's very strict laws on what a board can and can't do, and I'm not sure if Sumter County has a board or
Sumter County has one code enforcement officer, and I know they have two,
no, the officer is one, the inspector is one thing, but there's either a board or a magistrate that does the rules.
that I'm not sure of. I haven't been exposed to that. Okay.
The magistrate's what most of Florida has gone to a magistrate, but it's been over before.
But there's certain time frames, like they have to be notified.
The
Then they
Florida
have,
statute prescribes
yeah.
all of that.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 or maybe 8 steps or whatever that they take before they actually do some kind of foreclosure on your property. There is some of these properties that are already in foreclosure. Because nobody knows that because nobody's checking into it.
But they can't do anything about it until somebody reports it and asks them to
Exactly.
take pictures or videos to submit along with it.
Sumter County is not going to ride around and find faults on everybody's property. I'm not going to ride around and find faults on everybody's property. If your grass is 2 feet high, I don't care. All I'm looking for is all these abandoned trailers, just so we don't have the druggies, squatters.
What do you mean by foreclosure?
They put a lien against their place and they'll foreclose on it. If they don't bring it up to code,
But how long?
the county can take it.
How long does that
That's all
mean?
prescribed by the statutes.
For a year or 2 years?
It can take longer than that.
As I said, meanwhile, kids were down there playing the other day, but it's all burnt down. I saw some kids in there. What the hell are you doing in there?
Well, that's just it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where
These are real
somebody's got
kids,
to,
too.
right. That's where somebody's got to turn it in.
That's all the parents for not watching their kids.
Yeah, well, it's still hurting.
But I mean, we're all here because we obviously care about Lake Pan. Am I not correct?
Yep.
And we all want to have a clean community, so why don't we all do our part and, speak, and nobody wants to rat out their neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to rat him out because, whatever. Just like, you guys, I don't care if you guys vote in your yard that's not tagged. I don't care. Because you know what? If we get flooded, I'm going to need that vote. You know what I mean? Like, but just the abandoned properties and stuff like that, that's what I'm looking for. Now, somebody else has turned all these properties in. I don't know who they won't disclose to me who turned them in. I have a good idea. I don't know why they were turned in. I don't know the details on it, but it wasn't me. So.
We got two good work.
I didn't do it. So, does anybody have any questions? I don't know if I can answer anything, but that's what we're trying to do. I mean, if anybody has any issues with that or knows of something that we can do differently to, help out all these properties, I don't know if, volunteers are in the audience or if you guys know volunteers, but I look at it this way, everybody's responsible for their own property. We all pay our taxes. So if you own a piece of property, it's your responsibility to, keep it clean, I mean, yes, sir.
Is there a published list of these properties for that? In other words,
Is it public knowledge to what properties were done?
is there a list?
Shameless.
Is there a list out that that you can look at.
That is something that I would have to talk to the county on, to see if they could do public information. I know if you do, let's just say you turn a piece of property in, you have that right to go online and basically search that case that you turned in. Now, as far as all the other properties, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just getting my feet wet in this, I'm not, I might not even know what I'm doing, I don't know, but all I know is there's a lot of places here in Lake Pan that need to be cleaned up.
And if you have a question on a specific property that we're aware of, there's a book up here with some pictures.
No, the only question I had, why I'm asking the question is this: how do you know if the property's been moved on before? So if I can see a house there, I don't know if it's been turned in or not.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So if there was a list, I'll say, hey, you can look at, oh no, that property's been turned in. Well, I don't have to be concerned.
Right.
That's my only.
Let me check with the county and see if what I can find out on that. And then, if you guys come to the next meeting, I mean, I don't want to post it on Facebook. That's not fair to, the property owners. That's, if you're here at the meeting, it's a public meeting, anybody can attend. I'll look into it and see what kind of feedback I can give everybody here for the town.
Once a case is filed, then it becomes a matter of public record. Once the county does their part.
Right, but you gotta
Or
know,
the magistrate, there should be a listing as a matter of public record. Every board I've ever sat on for 10.5 years, all those meetings and who said what in the meetings is a matter of public record. But it has to go through the process.
We'll see if we can get the website of where you can go to. We'll see if we can get that for you.
yeah, because I do have a website that you can, I guess, log in and see. I don't know, like I said, I would have to check with the county to just make sure. I don't wanna tell you guys anything that I'm not 100% sure on. Like I said, I'm just a volunteer. I don't wanna mislead anybody. All I know is there's a lot of rundown places in Lake Pan, so, yes.
Any issues like this? I inquire about the history of it, and they told me, when the last case was opened on it, one was closed. I have a question about the property. You have to use Polk County. They will tell you if there's an open case on it or not, if it's been closed. I went and drive to the other side of town and made a complaint. You better be really close by when you're requiring it. All you have to do is call them, right?
Yep.
Simple as that.
You can also look at the tax records to find out if something's been recorded.
A lot of information is on
A
the
lot of information is definitely on the internet, is Sumter County.
Well, I don't know if they still do it back in the day, they publish it in the paper, tax things,
Nobody gets paper anymore. Everything that I'm on, nobody gets paper anymore. So, if you guys go to the Sumter County website, go to the property tax appraiser, you'll find a lot of information there. Just like
The
the
codes are all there.
county commissioners meetings, they're all recorded. You can go on the BOCC meetings, their audio. I don't think they do video, but they do audio. You can listen in on what they talk about at that meeting. I don't know if anybody knows
was there
that.
actually a lot of that video, that last meeting?
Yeah,
The fire assessment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
any public meeting, yeah.
They said they had what?
That was, they don't do cell phones going off. I read that too. They meant cell phones ringing.
Guy stood up there and said, no, yes.
Oh, really? Well, first of all, I've never known that to be true, but
They
it's,
said that.
There's criminal laws and statutes that they have to provide you. They can't just really say, no, they can't do
They
that.
sat up there, what did they say? We didn't think it was gonna come online on Facebook. Somebody took it.
She did it live. She did it live with her cell phone.
Yeah, it was with a cell phone, but I mean, the county didn't do it.
No, the county didn't do it, but that recording is a voice recording. So if you want to listen for 5.5 hours, because that's how long that meeting was,
I was around enough,
it's 5.5 hours long.
Spectrum 13 was there as well.
Yes. I don't know if anybody watches Spectrum 13, but she was there and she covered the news story, so,
And she's going to be digging into some other stuff as well.
yes. So, does anybody else have any other questions? Like I said, I'm just a volunteer. You know, I'm just trying to get what I can for you guys, and, you know, you can take it with you yourself, you can,
I heard something that they were talking about shutting down all the libraries.
I don't understand that, because with the fire assessment fee, okay, they wrote it down, it went up $1. So if you get your assessment, it's gonna go up $1. But if they're gonna, how can they shut down the libraries and all these other fire departments when nothing has changed? We didn't take money from them, so how is anything gonna change?
That's because it's not. They were full of crap. And what they were telling the community up there, that they needed, you know, they asked for 39 million. At the board, the fire department asked for 14 and 12. Well, that's 26, okay? They never explained to the community what that money was going for. I asked those questions. I was at that meeting for the 6
Yes.
hours. I was number 3 up there asking. And they got greedy, and they should have explained it to the people and only asked for 1/3, and they would have got it.
The thing is
So
that,
bottom line, they're not gonna shut this
And
down?
what they didn't tell people is about the 500 permits that are pulled weekly in the villages and throughout all of Sumter County that keep adding tax dollars, They never brought that into consideration.
They ever talked about the impact? I had 2 years ago, I built a house over
Right.
there, I had to pay $2,600 impact.
Right.
At the villages, they pay $900.
Well, that's,
at the meeting, Andy, they said that the impact fees do not cover any fire
That's,
stuff whatsoever.
that's correct, but it can pay for the buildings.
Right.
And everybody else in this county pays $2,666 in impact fees, and the villages pay 1/3.
Yeah,
Right, they pay
Exactly.
$900.
There's part of their problem. You know, that's part of their problem.
Discrimination.
how do they get away with it? I know how.
Well, they get away with that because they cut a deal with them, and it's legal what they did. But
They
the
can
problem
charge-
is,
they can
this
charge more,
county
that's what it is.
doesn't charge nowhere near as much as like Pinellas County, or Hillsborough County, or Manatee County for impact fees. Impact fees should be more than double what they're charging.
If you go on the Sumter County site and you go to Sumter County maps and you look in the fire department thing, you'll see that Sumter County is divided. The villages have theirs, and then the rest of Sumter County has ours. Why should we, as Sumter County tax residents, pay for the villages when they're the fastest growing community growing in Sumter County? I mean, that's,
And the state,
well, yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm just saying, if they would have passed that fire assessment, it would have devastated a whole bunch of businesses here. And you know what, I don't know if you guys know Mr. Yoder, and I know a lot of people are frown on him because he does do a lot of work for the villages, but that man spoke from the heart when he went up there. And he did, because he was more concerned about people in campers than basically his business. You know, yeah, he's gonna get hit, yeah, is he making money? I'm sure. But you know what, his heart was right there with the people, not in his pocketbook. And, you know, I give that man a lot of credit. And I don't know, I also learned too that all of the electrical lighting on 470, Mr. Yoder put all that in. Mr. Yoder, well, he did put it in, Darrell Chandler put it in, the street lights. And also, Mr. Yoder pays that electric bill, and supposedly it's like $700 a month. I don't know, this is just hearsay. So, I just thought that, you know what, that was kind of nice of him, and he has done some nice
it's on
things.
the road at the fair too.
What's that?
The fair, it's the road on it, right?
About the raised manholes also is.
Mr. Yoder does a lot for Lake County.
For the county.
Yeah, I mean, he is making money, but he is also giving back,
Sure.
you know? But he,
Fireworks and different.
How to go?
as I say, I give him a lot of credit to speak up there and talk about, you know, from the heart, and basically have the citizens, you know, concerned about the citizens and people living in trailers. Like he said, you go passing this fire assessment, you're gonna push more people into trailers. These campers and that are not tied down like mobile homes, they're not tied down like a house. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, I give him a lot of credit, but that's all I got to say.
Pass it on.
Okay,
so we also went to the first meeting in August at the commissioners meeting. And one thing Charles did get approved was for our meetings to be on the billboard out here. So that was a big thing. They approved it right there on the spot, so that was really good. And he also asked them about benches along more benches along 470. That we're waiting an answer for. It'll probably be at the next meeting. They'll probably bring it back up. But that is something that was discussed. And then I know that some people were interested in more information about the lake. I know, I wasn't here at the last meeting, but they said there was a gentleman with a book that had a lot of stuff about the lake. I don't know if anybody knows him, so we get hold of him and maybe get some more information and maybe get him on the agenda one night to speak about, you know, the lake.
In charge of the lake. Sumter County is in charge of Lake Panasoffkee. The state water Florida State is in charge of navigation on the lake. They're supposed to have buoys set up where they have a channel all the way through Lake Panasoffkee to the outlets. And of course they don't have that out there. But
Is that,
so far,
is that considered part of the navigable waterways?
no, Sumter County is in charge of the lake cleanup and whatever.
Yeah, I know states in charge
And
of
the
that.
state is in charge of navigation.
Does anybody know, where are these town, you don't go to a town anyway, public access to that lake? Free public access. Does anybody
Down
know?
there in the park, down there at Marshman Park.
That's not on the lake. You can't get a folder and you can't do it. What?
Are you referring to?
Is it the one over on Coleman?
It sent out an email, with the Freshwater Game Commission at WT, and they are currently, with the hydrology proportions, and they're keeping an eye on all of that. I received an email last week, so if you would like, I can respond to him, and he can come down, because it's about the Florida Water Management District, and I have his number and everything.
Just say that it's the only public access, county access over there on the Coleman side, where that road that ends into the lake. And the one comes across the bridge, or I-75, that ends right on the other side of the lake. I'm wondering, because I like to go sail, I like to launch my boat, and I say, wow,
You pay $5 at Tracy's Point?
yeah, I know, pay $5 here, pay $10 here, whereas the public access, usually every lake is public.
There's the park down
Park.
the street.
The park is public
The
access.
park is public.
Which park is that?
I don't know the that's the park that.
This is one of the ones that I
You
want
see, you
to
have to march the foot down park up here, north of here?
I said, God, if you go across the railroad track,
Yeah,
you know, we were
That
down.
goes to Panasoffkee.
yeah, that's right, that goes in there, that's public too, right? By the railroad bridge, yeah.
But it doesn't, it's not directly on the lake.
I know, it goes into it. Right. Yeah, because they have I wonder what those net things were, the shaving nets? It's frisbee, it's a frisbee, 9-hole frisbee horse.
Disc golf.
Actually, I'm saving that up for another meeting, I gotta get, more information, I think all you know is that the canals are, cleanup is up to the individuals that live on both sides of the canal. The lake itself is supposed to be, handled by the Sumter County, they are the ones that's supposed to, clean up, the high drill and everything, the grass and all that, that's in the lake. The more you, more than the, hydraulic stuff, it has an effect on the, people's system in the lake. So that's the reason we're
ended up with a lot of mud and cloudy us in the lake, from what I understand. Tracy's point is, you guys had a meeting about that with
Probably make the fire in the house, look at everything else.
no, but like I said,
Every time we've ever talked to the county, they told us to go pound it. Well, I guess I'm on the subject. Is there another rec center down there by that, on the other end, by the rail bridge? Not that, I guess, road going back in there?
no.
There's a community, I think there's a
Community
community center.
center.
That was the original community center.
It's still operating.
Yeah, but what they're talking about, they're talking about it on the crossing from the truck stop.
We're all seniors here.
Oh, man.
No, it's on the other side of 7. Hey, let's take it out.
Not everybody.
Yeah.
You can put your boat in there.
The railroad bridge, yeah.
They've been out there before. And they'd be out there, they'd be here, take the boot. I mean, that's the end, unless they have somebody working the boat. These aren't gonna last.
I also checked on the bridge here on 470. All the DOT signs and everything are in the right place. And physically, the large semis, their total weight is, if they're fully loaded, is 80,000 pounds. So the bridge is short enough, but 80,000 pounds was never on that bridge. So it would be like 32,000 pounds for the tractor, and then when the trailer comes across, it'd be another 30,000 pounds. So they're definitely within the limit. DOT would state that the bridge is long enough, and the whole truck and trailer is on the bridge, then they're in violation. But the way that they figured was when, they go by axle weight and stuff.
We're talking about the span of it,
So they have a,
because that bridge is longer than the semi.
the bridge is not as long as
The part of the span that's required.
short dump trucks, that's a different story. That's a thoroughfare, like if they have an accident on 75, or on 44, before they send all the traffic across 470, so, I mean, in situations like that, they just pay the overweight.
I thought you were on the sheriff's department.
Tuesday first, and then, on the sheriff's department.
I'm Susie Taggett, and the meeting before last, we talked about doing a fundraiser. We talked about having a countywide yard sale. Well, I've tried to find a place to have it, since we were told we couldn't have it here. So, I've been going around trying to find some place to have it as well, like for a whiskey tea. So I volunteer on Wednesday mornings at the Methodist Church on the food distribution. So when I talked to the minister there, they're having an event on the 7th of October. So I kind of made an executive decision, since a couple guys already contributed money to make the flyers. And on the 7th of October, if we want to do it, and I have to have an answer tonight because I have to give an answer in the morning. I made up some flyers to have if somebody wants to sign up for a booth, to have for a yard sale. I have information that you can take some flyers and pass out to your neighbors. And I have some flyers that I made up to put around some of the local businesses. And since I had to make decisions, because there wasn't another meeting in time, the church says we can have the facility there, use the facility. They're also having a fun event, and this would kind of go hand in hand. That they want a contribution, which is absolutely understandable. So, there again, I had to make a decision. So I set a price of $10 for a space, a 10 by 10 space.
spaces, 12 by 12 spaces, you have up to a 10 by 10 booth and outlets. The project is going to be, you sell whatever you want to sell, you pay $10 in advance for a space. We give 10% to the school, because the church wanted to know, and this is typical for any fundraiser, you have to know, and you have to declare what the profit is going to be. So, I talked to Charles at an event, and this is how I got my information. I'm happy to give you this information. So, we can have the event on the 10th of the 7th of October, $10 a space, 10% be collected from whatever you sell, you donate to the school, and we can have an event. And we can make this an annual event. But you gotta sign up in advance, because we need to know how many spaces are gonna be asked for, because we have to know how much to set up for. Yes. So
Is this all going to be inside the church or
outside,
outside?
outside. They have the perfect setup with the driveway that goes all the way around the back. I don't know where they're going to have their event. If they're going to, I'm going to find out more tomorrow. But I've gone ahead, since we talked about this, a couple guys donated money, I took the ball and ran with it. And I told our sheriff-elect that when he has a fundraiser, he needs to ask for money. That's part of being a campaign.
You got any money?
You gotta check that money for me. I'm gonna be more aggressive with you, I'm that's right back with you.
Not that it's-
With
the food benches.
Anyway,
Are we able to give you the money tonight?
I'll take the money tonight, okay, if for some reason, you got for me, you got to fill out. If for some reason, the church tells me no tomorrow,
Here.
because the minister had to go before the board. Okay, and we had to have a reason, and this is typical, there are laws that cover all of this stuff. I've been involved in politics, and I've run for public office, and I know how to do it, so, yeah, cover your butt, always cover your butt.
Just a 10 spot.
Not in Sumter County right now. I made it a later time, I've been asked by a few if I want to run for county commission again. 2024 is when Andy's up for. But anyway, I've done this and I will put the money tonight, $10 a spot. And I've got flyers to put out for your neighbors and flyers to put out on some of the businesses. And we don't need a deputy there, please, somebody. And I will need somebody with a pickup truck to help me get my crap down there. Can you post that on Facebook? Can you post that on Facebook? I'm not sharp with that kind of stuff. I'll need somebody to help. She raised her hand up there. I gotta put that on. Thank you. You're welcome. I'll get more information before we leave tonight.
Alrighty, at this time,
Oh, Chuck. Oh, one of the things, sorry. I just want to add on to that. The water balloon battle will be at the church at 1 p.m. that same day. It'll be on the front of the church, on the grass, like not on the street, but that's where it'll be. That'll be on Facebook to advertise. So if you just, it'll be hot, Florida. If you just want to come and make a fool of yourself and have fun with your adults, kids, throw water balloons to each other. It's only like a 20-minute event. Same day, same location.
Well, we'll just pick it back to this.
Yep.
Good to give us tables, or we
Yeah,
got to draw?
you have to bring your own table.
Okay.
Like the yard sale.
Hi, I'm Chief Deputy Presider. This is Under Sheriff Pat Green. Our topic is a little bit not directly related to the Panasoffkee, but it's very exciting for us. It has to do with our non-traditional law enforcement programs that we offer. We call it Sept, Sumter, and we're going to have Under Sheriff Pat Green go over. It's called the Sumter County Safety Program. Now, it's in conjunction with a potentially nationwide operation where it identifies people at risk. I don't know how much y'all are aware about how we do things when we stop cars, we can contact people, we run names, and it tells us your driver's license status, etc. But they're working on trying to make it so that if you're autistic or you have other issues, that we can become aware of that as we're out with you. So we tailor our programs here in Sumter County to try to mirror that, so that when and if that transition takes place, we'll be ready to go. So there's a bunch of programs you can sign up for, and I'm sure we're going to go over all of them. And we create a database with it, so that if you do calls for service at your house, your children haven't heard from you, or something happens, we go to the house, we can run your name and know what programs you signed up for, so you know what potential dangers are or what you're doing with. It also provides a sticker for your car, so that if you're out and you get stopped, like my son's autistic, I can get a sticker for his car, so that if a law enforcement officer stops and he sees the sticker, he knows that the driver or somebody inside the car has some type of, I don't call it, some type of challenge. So if my son gets stopped, they'll know how to deal with that, and they won't speak to me.
Do I need a microphone if I stand close? Everybody hear me okay? Good? Okay.
You have to talk like right into the microphone.
I'll stand close and yell. So, the programs here are completely voluntary. There's a form in the back that you can put as much information you want on, or as little information you want, or none, but you can still participate in the programs. That don't mean you can get into it. I'm not going to read every page for y'all. I'm just going to kind of go through it with a brief summary, and y'all can look at it and see what you want to join into if you want to use any of it. So, the Safe ID card. That's the first page we're looking at. Safe ID is basically what that says. It's a card. You can put it in your driver's license. If you have any type of, say, disability, anything like that, show it. When you give your identification to the deputy, you get stopped on a traffic stop or whatever, put it with your driver's license, your vehicle registration, your vehicle insurance card. It explains that deputy say, hey, I'm hard of hearing, I'm autistic, anything like that. So the deputy knows what the issue may be and he knows how to respond. You know, it could be a medical emergency if you have people along, say you're diabetic, if you have a diabetic episode, anything like that. So, everybody doing that one question? If you have any questions on this one, just let me know.
Is that just for Sumter County residents?
Just for Sumter County residents. This is Sumter County. A lot of other agencies have very similar stuff, but this is ours. It's better than other counties.
Oh, okay.
Where did you get the card at?
Any one of our sheriff's offices, south end, north end, on the annex, we'll take your getting the card for you, or reach out to us and we'll back to you, whatever we need to do, we get it to you. We'll bring them to you, we'll deliver, we're here in weeks.
What name is it?
And, you know, take these packets, and if you have extra packets, if you want to take it to a neighbor, share your neighbor, share with your friends.
The next one, the junior,
That's what we're getting into.
we're gonna get tractors on all people, is that it?
That's what it is. And
You're gonna be the first one.
this was a,
But you have to sign up. We're not going to tag it or release.
you laugh, that's actually what it is. Green program, you sign up for it. We were only one of 5 counties in the United States to get a grant for this. The grant's running out, but we're still going to fund it because it has had success stories. Just recently, we had an elderly gentleman. He wandered off 4 o'clock in the morning. His wife has buzzers on the door. For some reason, the buzzer didn't work. She got to looking for him. He wandered off and he fell down in the bushes. Well, she called us immediately, so instead of having to send K9 units out of helicopters, a bunch of deputies and all that, she opened up the app on her phone and she says, he's right here. We opened up the apps on our phone, found where he was, and within 10 minutes, we had located, he fell down, couldn't get up, and he was laying over there. Had that not happened with this watch, no telling what happened over again. So that's just
It's
success.
a year or what? It's dog? It's a wristwatch or what?
It's a wristwatch. It looks just like an Apple Watch, wristwatch, or they make, and it locks on to your family member or loved one so that they can't take it off. Or
watch
it's
can
a
find you.
tag, you can tag on.
Yeah, you want to take off for now.
Yeah. So, and that's an absolute program that is free.
Not married, no.
So, great program. And if I'm going too fast, if you have any questions, just let me know, because I know you don't want to throw it out. Bible Life. What that is we're changing this with something, this is the new version of it. What it is simply a pill bottle. There's a form you fill out, you put inside of it, gives your medical information as much as you want to put on there, as little as you want to put on there, such as your doctors, next of kin, medications you may have, illnesses you may have, pets, if you have pets, what we do with your pets in case you're in a medical emergency and you have to haul you to the hospital, and your Fluffy's at the house alone, what do you do with Fluffy? So, basically what you do is you put a sticker on your door, sticker on your refrigerator, all first responders, Sumter County knows, they see that sticker, look in your refrigerator, find that Bible Life, it has all the information, paramedic or law enforcement. But we see the need to take one step further. So what we've done is add extra stickers, extra forms and all that put in there. put one in your vehicle. And where we typically put it is your vehicle registration. Of course, the deputy sheriff always asks you for or look for if you're in a car crash or something. Look for your vehicle registration and insurance information. Stick it in your glove box, wherever that is. Put this sticker onto your car. It tells you that you participate in the Sumter Safe program. When a deputy sees that on your car, if you register, they can pull up on our CAD system, which is our computer system that dispatches us, and it's going to tell us what programs you participate in. So that way the deputy knows, okay, there should be a paper in here that tells me what this gentleman or ma'am's illness is. So, fair enough? Stick it on your car, that way in your car, in your house.
Pets too?
Yeah, you can put your pet information on there, don't forget your pets. They're important. But it helps us, because we show your house. They're in the car. Yeah, they're in the car. We need to know somebody to call, so your pet don't go to animal control. We can call a friend or a family member and say, hey, you know, so-and-so is being transported to the hospital, could you please come take care of the pet for us?
The last one, the last one, I think a couple of weeks ago here.
Yeah, that's still good. This is just a new way of doing it, and, you know, the green stickers are for the door, and we've got another sticker that's kind of a clear sticker, so it's not as green. Some people don't like stickers on their car, so it don't stand out as much, but we recommend you put it on the driver's side, where it's definitely appropriate that you can see it. So, you know, and stop by one of our annex, or anywhere, community, and bring it to you wherever you need. Peace of mind, this don't necessarily apply to everyone in here. This is more a program for somebody that lives alone, they're fully functional. However, if they want us to fall, have a medical episode or something like that, just to take care of them. So basically what this is, you call the sheriff's office, we have people answer the phone for this program, you register for it. If we don't hear from you by, say, noon every day, Devin's hunting you down. So it saves on average, it don't sound like a bunch, but if you're one of the 3 lives it saves every year, it matters. So, but on average, 3 lives every year. We had a lady one time, she fell down, she was a member of our Peace of Mind, she had got in the bathtub, fell, couldn't get up, healthy, just couldn't get up because of whatever medical issues healthy. She says, look, she says, if y'all have to call and check TV, send a deputy out here. She says, I talk to my daughter once a week. I talked to her yesterday. The odds are I would have left here for a week before anybody would have found me had she not been a part of the program. So that's another good program. So if you know about this alone, they don't check in by noon, you're seeing one of us. The placards, hard hearing placards, similar to what they are. Keep them in your car, hand it to a deputy, keep them on you. That way the deputies know.
So this doesn't cross county lines, huh? You wouldn't go into Lake County?
If you went into Lake County with us, everything, and they see this on the back of the windshield of your car, they're going to realize that, hey, okay. Because a lot of counties have similar stuff. And they're going to like Lake County has the same thing, BioLife. Marion County has what they call the file of life. It's a file they have stuff on there instead of a pill bottle. So a lot of counties have similar stuff. Some stuff is unique to us, such as the Dream program. I don't know if any other county gives free GPS stuff. I mean, that's unique to us. Some of them have similar cards and stuff like this, but you put this on the back deck of your car, deputy walks up, they always approach from the rear. They see this laying in the back of your car, they know, hey, I'm hard of hearing or whatever it may be, autistic, anything like that. Good thing.
This is basically projection for the brain symbol. You have something different for autistic, functioning autistic, because they're not always deaf.
Right. And that's the Safe ID card covers all of that, and you put on there what you have, and when you do our CAD system, and I believe we have the purple stickers, we have the purple stickers that go with that. You have all that.
I just don't want to get people to walk up on
Right.
autistic person with a deaf set mind.
And that's where registering really helps us out, because if you register, it tells that deputy, when they call a dispatch, hey, so-and-so, traffic stop on so-and-so, the dispatchers will respond, hey, they're part of our Safe Sumter program, the driver is so-and-so possible autistic or possible hard of hearing, whatever that may be.
The problem is there's so many colors as we're developing this that some people may have multiple things. So how do we come up with a sticker? So what we do is we came up with a universal sticker and we can tell, hey, they participate in this program. And then if you sign up, as long as you list the program that you participate in, they can run your name and then find out what it is. Because there's no way to come up with enough stickers put all of their parts and tell us exactly what's going on. So we try to get to the database, so it's just one sticker switch recognized, and then we can look it up and find out what it does.
I can make it better, everything, it means you're bigger, I guess that's what I have.
Yeah, it just tells you, you see anything for it, and as long as you fill it out, we'll know.
It never hurts to have both, but if you notice on the state ID card I talked about earlier, it has the purple ribbon up in the corner, and it covers that area.
My mom is deaf, so.
We tried to cover it all, but like the chief said, there's so many colors out there for that, you might have rainbow flag colors in your car, so we just did the cards and that.
Turn that into Lufa.
Well, it's funny, because, I mean, really, you have to be down to the logistics of it. I mean, I'm one of those ones that hate putting stickers on my car. To be totally honest, I don't do it. So we came up with a clear one that you put in the window, because it's less intrusive, it's right there, but it serves its purpose, to get the message to us that we need to look further. And then, as long as you're signed up, we can look further. Because, you know, a lot of people don't want to put a sticker on their car, but if we made it, you know, so it wasn't so out there, obvious that, you know,
That's the whole purpose of the clear, so it's just pretty much the letter. It's not something small that stands out, but definitely no one pulled on your vehicle. So, the human scent preservation kits, these for adults and children, we have both versions. Basically what that is, it's just like it sounds, I don't have it here to tell you, but basically it's a sterile jar. Take it home, your loved one, if you have somebody with Alzheimer's, somebody that's older, and a small teacher, or your children, basically what you do, it has a scent pad in it, you rub it in the areas where we like the person that's going to be applying for it to do it themselves, so they don't contaminate it. However, if you have to do it for a loved one, there's latex gloves in there, you use latex gloves, right on the sticker, who for arm, to rub down for them, rub it in the armpits, anywhere there's an odor, put it in this glass container, the scent is guaranteed to stay good for 7 years in that scent, in that container. So it's been tested. Basically what that does is everybody's seen the old Bloodhound movies where the cop shows up and says, here's a dirty sock, don't catch fire or whatever. It's a scent article. That's what this serves the purpose as. So keep it in a shady place, seal it up when you're done with it. That way the deputy with our canine responds and he can say, all right, you have this, you can give it to them, and they can go track it. Because our canines, our bloodhounds, are scent specific. They're going to track you. They go after Susan, they got her scent. It don't matter if you walk across her path, they're not going to sway, they're going to stay on that scent. So that's what that works with. The kids, it goes one step further. We have the scent kit, but we also have some kids that take the DNA, the fingerprints, other stuff like that. You can put pieces of their hair like that, so we have DNA access to them, dental records, all that stuff. So utilize them, they'll back to kids. Home safety services. We've sent some deputies to special, am I going too fast?
No. They're good.
So, we've sent some deputies, a handful of deputies to what we call home safety inspection specialists. And all this is they will come out to your house between the hours of 8 and 4, Monday through Friday, it takes about 45 minutes. And what they do is they walk through the house with you and tell you stuff to make your home more secure, such as your sliding glass door. Because that's one of the easiest ways to get into somebody's house is to break through a sliding glass door. They tell you things that you can do to help prevent that. How many of you, a lot of you probably know, your deadbolt on your door. You spin that deadbolt, you think it's deadbolted. Well, if it don't go to a certain point, past the no return, when you hear that click, that deadbolt's not walking all the way in. And what we've noticed a lot of people do is when they contract to build houses, they don't drill that hole deep enough for the deadbolt to always set. So people, you can take your knife or car or something, you need that deadbolt open. So they check that, make sure it clicks and locks in. So just small things like that, shrub it around your house to where people can have easy access points and not be seen. So it takes 45 minutes, break right around. If you ever want to come out, we'll be more glad to. So just contact the numbers on here and set them on the phone. Alert Sumter. This is not necessarily a sheriff's office app. This is a Sumter County app. Basically what this is, bad weather's coming, tornadoes coming, anything like that. You can register your phone, it'll set up an app, and it'll set up an alert on your phone and say, hey, tornadoes coming to your area, seek shelter, whatever you want to do. And if I'm not mistaken on there, it goes by the address that you put in it or the location. So if you register your phone, if you're living in New York, you're going to get woke up in the middle of the night with another tornado pushing. So make sure you register the right spot, but I don't want you to get woke up.
The other things, how many people remember, have you ever received a call from us in the middle of the night that says, hey, there's law enforcement in the area, have you ever received one of those? Okay, the county is the one that sets this up. It used to be automatic. We call it reverse 911, so we use the phone system to notify you. That costs money, so so, for more money, so they went with Alert Sumter. The difference was you didn't have to sign up for the other one, so it happened automatically. If you don't sign up for Alert Sumter, and we send out an alert, you're not gonna get notified unless you sign up for it, unlike the other system. The other system worked automatically. This one you actually have to. So if we're in the area and you don't get a phone call, there's either you didn't sign up for it or there's a problem. So you've got to sign up to get our alerts, whether it's weather related or we're searching for somebody, we're trying to alert the neighborhood, or we want to evacuate a certain area, and we send out this alert. If you don't sign up for it, you're not gonna get the alert.
Is that like that happened this last week with the Holocaust was going on here?
Yeah, we'll do no so there's multiple ways you can get notified, and he's about to talk about a couple of the other ones. But first, we'll send out an alert, and it is this computer screen, the wrong area, not the quick as an alert, and then we'll send out that alert. You have to be signed up for it in order to receive that alert.
Yeah,
That system.
we found out after the fact, we did a search for the guy.
Because I don't have it on my phone.
Let me ask you this, do you have our app?
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna get it now.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the
Yeah,
ethics.
he's about to tell you about the app to solve that problem as well.
Another program we have, and it really helps us out, it's more beneficial to us, and it's also beneficial to y'all, is called Project Eagle Eye. Now, this doesn't give us access to your camera, it just lets us know you have a camera. So if you have a security camera at your house, you know, you get a burglary at your house or in your neighborhood. We send deputies out, they investigate the burglary, then they start doing what we call neighborhood canvas. Well, that's going door to door and saying, hey, did you see anything? Joe Smith next door got broken into. What this does is we can look it up on our computer system and say, all right, all the addresses on this road that has cameras, I'm going to start with those and see if they have anything on their Reed camera or their Arlo camera, wherever they may have. So it just speeds up the process of us trying to get information. And also, if you see through our alert system, when you download our app, you'll see, oh, there's something on my road. My camera's on here. I can call sheriff office and say, my camera's over here. But if you have a camera, you want to register it with us and let us know you have it, but it does not give us access to get your camera.
Oh, that's why I don't have it.
It does not give us access to your cameras.
Because that should be access on the phone, you know.
They have to come and ask you to look at your camera.
We come to your door and say, all right, if you signed up for our Eagle Eye program, did you get anything that may help us solve this burglary at your neighbor's house?
We started that program about 6 years ago. We had a homicide. It wasn't in Lake Dan, it was outside of Bushville. And the first thing we wanted to know, we had to start doing neighborhood canvas, and obviously the neighbors are farther out, we're working on homicide. And the first thing we wanted to know was, has anybody been here? I mean, speed is of the essence to get this information. And so we literally had to go door to door, not hope the person's there, hope this, and then ask about cameras. This way, if we have an incident, the car gets broken into, and we're on our way there, or they're breaking into your car, or it just happened, we can get to the camera, because let's be honest, we can do the neighborhood cameras, and we're going to, no matter what, but if I can get to that information first, I can have a picture of the person right away and start looking for that. So this was to expedite that investigative process in order to get the picture or the video that we need.
Everything we can do to speed up the process helps us solve the problem. And that's what our goal is, to solve the crime in the fastest amount of time. Community crime, and I can tell you another thing, as far as Project Eagle Eye, but what we do have access, principal can tell you that our schools, we have cameras in our school now, we can access them, we know what's going live in our school. We have something bad going on in our school, it transmits right to our dispatch, our deputies can get a live, hey, all right, they're in the cafeteria, there's a bad guy there. So
You have
they're
drones?
right to it. And all the teachers have an app they can download on their phone. If they have an emergency, they can hit that app on their phone and alert the sheriff's office and all that. So, and the cavalry's coming.
You have drones?
We have drones. We have 2 drones on every shift and including this shift, so we have plenty of drones. So, community crime map, that's something pretty new we just come out with. So what that is, that's not going to show you real time what the deputy sheriff's on, because there is a little bit of lag. That's going to tell you the calls for service and where the calls are at, what type of calls are on, and what the deputy's been responding to. There's also fancy graphs, charts, tell you what the call is. If you ever want to move to the area, say, I want to move to Bushville, and I want to know if it's got a lot of crime, what kind of crime is going on in that area. You can pull up this community crime map and say, you want to search for a year. You can look back for historical data for a year. You can tell what all crimes have happened in that area. Now, what's bad, because that's where the county jail is, so it's going to be all red on the graph. But the community crime map is a great tool. We just started utilizing that. So, and you can narrow it down to your street, you can narrow it down to your address, you can narrow it down to within 5 miles of your house.
There's what areas to avoid.
It tells you what areas to avoid. So,
Your protection,
Yeah.
you're calling us,
because all of the addresses are offset. So it'll tell you the area that we're in to protect our victims. That's not gonna give you the exact location.
500 feet, something like that.
But then we won't tell you information about a homicide going on, because obviously people can go in here and figure out, oh, the cops down here, so, oh, that was Mr. Smith got killed over there. We don't want family members here and, call and say, hey, I think your family members got killed, the deputies are here. So, in sexual battery, we have what's called marching law. So sexual assault and stuff, you can't put exact location, and we can't put that on the map. And that's to protect the victims of it. Any questions so far? And you can simply go to that by either going to our website, our app, and we'll talk about in a minute. We're going to all our app on here, so it's got such great information. Or you can just search www.communityhindmap.org or .com, I'm sorry. The next one, our app. If you're fancy know how to use the QR code, you can just simply look at the QR code, put it on your phone, it'll download the app automatically. It gives you all kind of information. Sex offenders in the area. There's something on there that we like, and I don't know if any other agency that has it, to be honest with you. It's called Sumter Scams. Because, scams are a big thing. So you can go in here, and if you think you've been a victim of a scam or got a scam going on, you can put it on here. We have a white-collar crime detective that he vets everything, looks at it, and he will respond to you and say, yes, that's a scam, no, it's not a scam. He will spread the word about that community on the app and everything and let them know, hey, this is a scam that's going on, be aware of it. So, if you can get straight to the community crime map on here, you can get feedback on our deputies, they respond to your house. So there's all kinds of good stuff on there. So download our app, browse it, use it. This also can give you notification. It gives you push alerts as to something. Like the other day, you talking about research for somebody in the area. This will give you information as to what we're doing in the area. It'll pop up on your Facebook.
That operates as our alert system.
This is our version of the alert or something. Any questions on that? And if you don't want to use the QR code, you can just go to your Apple or Android Play Store and search for Sumter County Sheriff's Office. Make sure you get Sumter County Florida, not Sumter County, South Carolina. So, but you'll see our green badge on the app. That's what it looks like. It's a little green background, a little badge. So, the next thing is just simply the paperwork. If you want to fill it out, you can email it into us, you can fax it into us, email it into us. And that's simply what you fill out and what program you want to participate in. Any questions? Well, I want to do it kind of fast. Like I say, all the programs are free to all. You can come to any one of our offices, pick them up, just tell them what you want. If you can't get to one of our offices, you need a deputy sheriff to bring one by, let us know. We'll make sure one of our community outreach teams or somebody gets you one to your house, tell you neighbors about it, and we'll do everything we can to keep it safe. These programs will continue growing, so we're always trying to do what we can do to get better.
How old is your,
Thank you very much.
how old is your app?
For volunteers to work with these programs?
We do, a lot of volunteers is like our peace of mind. I happen to know a volunteer in his room. It does a lot of volunteer work for her. Her son will peace of mind program.
Deliveries and pick these up.
Well, that's what I'm asking, because there's so much of this is so valuable, and I'm signed up for most of it already.
The peace of mind is actually, that falls into by volunteers. So they take care of that. That, helps us out and say, hey, call in, and they'll let them know we'll respond out.
That's like a wellness check.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't call in, check in, they call and check in.
Yes, ma'am.
On your Facebook page, you mentioned the 9 o'clock routine of all. Can you talk a little bit about that?
The 9 o'clock, I know people get tired of seeing that, but we want everybody to do it. Statistics show, and as we keep track, the chief is a huge number guy, but I can only probably remember one car burglary where they actually broke into the car. Criminals want the easy way. So they'll go to a neighborhood and they'll search door handles. If your car's unlocked, they're going to rummage it. They're going to take your change. They're going to take your GPS. They're going to take anything of that. If that corridor is locked, they're going to keep on going to the next one because they'll find one locked somewhere. And that's why I say the 9 p.m. routine, locking car doors, is simply that. It probably reduces your chance of being a car burglar victim by 90%.
We just had one last night, and you'd be amazed at what people will put in their cars and leave in their cars and then not lock the doors. We had 2 guns stolen out of cars last night, and the cars were unlocked.
Please, we urge you, if you go want to leave your car locked, or leave it locked, take your gun out and take it in the house with you. So, because, that's putting the gun in somebody's hands, it probably doesn't need a gun. If they're breaking your car, obviously not a law-abiding citizen, so we don't want that person out there with a gun. But, that's what 9 p.m. is. Download our Facebook and our app. A lot of great stuff put on Facebook. I know a lot of people like to follow Facebook. We put out a lot of good information on there. And our door's always open, I'm always available, we're always available. Reach out to one of us, ask us questions, we'll be brutally honest with you. May not always like our answer, but we give you the answer and we'll be straightforward with you. So, any questions, anything further? That's all I have.
We belong to a senior citizen. And I would like you to come talk to our group.
I do that, I give them a call when they leave, or just give them a call and set it up. Another thing, since you said senior citizen group, how many people ever heard of Seniors versus Crime? We have an organization, it's funded by the Attorney General's office, not us, the Seniors versus Crime. Say you hire a contractor to build your roof, your contractor scamming you or anything like that, you can report it to Seniors versus Crime, and they will fully take it. And if you want to vet them, or if you want to hire somebody, you can call Seniors versus Crime and say, hey, Joe Smith Plumbing is going to come out and do some plumbing in my house. And they will tell you the complaints they've had, the ratings on them, if they've ever had any dealings with them, anything like that. So, and they can also help investigate and get law enforcement involved where there's crimes involving contractors that are trying to take advantage of people. So it's a great program. So if you ever need anything like that, Seniors versus Crime.
What is that, what's that name again?
Seniors versus Crime. And it's sponsored by the Attorney General's office, but it's supported by the Sheriff's office. So, you miss anything? School's real great. I heard you got a call. One of our great principals. Thank y'all. Please use this program. Download Facebook. Because, we live in Lake Penn. I know Chief does. I do. We see Lake Penn stuff word of mouth all the time. And, I probably told you this story one time before. Me and the Chief called each other about the same night one night. We was looking at web word of mouth. I'm going to dive out a little bit. And somebody posted on there, hey, did anybody see that suspicious car looking at our kids at the bus stop? And then when I drove up, they sped off in a hurry. And so we're like, did you call the Sheriff's office? Well, no, I just put it on web for word of mouth. That is not a reporting agency. They send us off the word of mouth or anything. That does not report crime. Please call the Sheriff's office and events like that because, we just happened to see it and said, hey, we're going to send you deputies out, give us a prescription, and we'll take care of it. Please, don't take our social media for reporting.
We'll monitor it all the time.
Yeah, we're on it all the time. Good, bad, we monitor it, we look at it. If we see something we need to respond to or trade out, we do. So, see something, say something. And that's another key thing with push. We have see something, say something. If you see something that don't look right, please give us a call. I mean, that's what we're here for. It don't matter how small you may think it is or how large. We're not wasting our time. See something, say something.
So that goes into, ironically, how we've been so involved in this organization is because the days of having a neighborhood watch where you had like a couple cars and the cars would drive around, and that doesn't cover near what needs to be covered. The reality is, if you count everybody in this room, how many people in here have cell phones? How many of you have smartphones? Okay, so how is it cost effective for the taxpayers? Because even volunteers cost money, especially when they're driving in vehicles and things like that. You guys are our eyes. You are the neighborhood watch. That's the whole point of how we present this. Is everybody has the ability, and you guys have an advantage because you're together and you're actually working together. That's all that needs to happen, because you'll be driving tonight on your way home, and guess what? You might see something. And if you do, call. That way you don't have to wait for the guy that maybe ain't around and then happen to call you. The point is, you guys are out all the time. So use that, and that's what we're trying to push as the new neighborhood watch, is to do it that way.
And even having the neighborhood watch sign in your yard is beneficial.
Oh, no. We have the see something, say something sign which you can put out. If you need them, just reach out and grab them. We'll take care of it. We bought the sign.
I know some people in my neighborhood that would like to have it.
Okay.
So I'll make some.
We'll bring some next time.
I spoke to Lutheran down in Fort, he's having some adjusted and going over the next week. They put the wrong phone number on it.
You won't mention anything.
But that's all I have. I want to thank y'all. If you need anything on the way out, my card's right there. My cell phone number's on it. I'm always available. Phone's on 24 hours a day. If you can call me during the daytime hour, that's great. If you need me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll answer, but I'll be wrong. So, anything, please feel free, and I'll turn it back over to y'all, because I don't know what you got left after this. But thank y'all for allowing us to be. Sorry I was late. I was coming from another function, so I've been running around like a chicken with a tail.
So since the last meeting, there are a few things that people have kind of mentioned on word of mouth, things that they would like to see. I do know one thing we need to do is come to a conclusion on what we want for the gazebo. Why they're still willing to do something or attempting to do something, we need to come to the conclusion of what we want. I know somebody had mentioned more trash cans on 470. That's something that we can try for if people are interested in wanting. I know that there's been mention of some flowers. We have been in contact with the local garden club that's going on. So hopefully if we get permission to put flowers in places, then, they'll help us out and maybe do some of that as well. I'm hoping to be able to put some flowers next to some of the benches that the county places for us, to kind of try to make it look nice. And then the gazebo, once we get it, we want to put some flowers around it and make it look nice as well. So that's something that we are trying to work on. And then I know a splash pad was mentioned. I don't think that that's going to really be feasible. I think that's I would love it. I have 2 nephews that I know would enjoy it a lot. But I don't think that that's something that the county would go for.
What about a pool in our area?
That would be great.
Push down, they would charge a fee, it's like entrance stuff, come in and spend $1. It would,
I mean, a big one, like Panasoffkee.
they would add,
Right.
especially sports.
And a lot of people depend on pools for exercise. And that would be something good. Oh, and then we also have had people interested in possibly having the county do sidewalks, maybe from the inside out grill to Marsh Bend.
That's
So-
what discussed, somebody said earlier. The road is so bad.
Supposedly the roads, they're gonna start working on the end of 2024, and they'll all be completed by the beginning of 2025.
470
470.
last that long?
I know. But that's the answer that I got back from the county commissioners and Brad and Arnold.
Was on the last meeting, it showed the date that you're going to start right here, all the way up.
But that's just some of the new things that, are kind of up in the air that we can discuss. If anybody has any questions or, anything else, then we can go from there. Are there any comments or questions or anything anybody else wants to bring up?
It would be really nice if, as a municipal study, we get them a pipe plan. Somebody's gonna get hurt one of these days.
Hopefully, if we can get that sidewalk from inside out Grill to Marsh Bend, that would be a big help, because I know a lot of the bicycle riders use that area.
It's like you said, many times they don't count on that side.
Well, when they do the highway, when they look at clear the right of way to the highway, they make a different street. When they 4-lane.
They don't have enough right of way, but then all the right of way to the gazebo was on was supposedly theirs. But they don't have enough.
I think it should have a 5-foot, apron along the middle too. We don't have any. I'm sure the sheriff's department can tell us that. We put it on bicycles.
And shoulders?
Is there a lot
About riding bikes on the shoulder.
about them getting hit? Bicycles getting hit? No?
Really?
Someone has been hit by 470.
Yeah, not these
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm sure there has been years past, but it's not like it ever did forever.
Me too. At 4 o'clock in the morning, pitch black, no reflectors on the bike.
Is there any way we can educate these people that are riding bicycles at night? They're so I know. Yes, fishing poles and bicycle parks and all this fun stuff.
Other bikes?
I'm a real nice person. I go take care of my mom and then I like, I go to Santa Poplar. Sometimes I might go home until 11. And these people are riding on the road. They don't follow the rules. I know, I'm one of those law abiding citizens and I'm afraid they're gonna pull out in front of me and I'm gonna hit them because I can't see them. Some of them have flashlights, some of them do not. And it would petrify me to death to know that I hit somebody because I didn't see them.
And our deputies actually do enforce applications. We got a deputy that works in this area. I can guarantee you, he can ride down 470 and see someone on bicycle and say, I know exactly who that is, because it's the same ones over and over and over. And they do enforce this stuff, and we've stopped so many of them now that they know, as long as they've got a headlight or some kind of light on their vehicle, that they're not violating any law. So if you're riding your bicycle at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you've got your headlight, you're abiding the law, the last thing you want to do is be bothered by a deputy sheriff, because you're within the law. And then so that's the problem. We can stop you and say, hey, you'll do, but they can say, we're not talking you and ride on. Now, if there is some type of violation, our deputies out there stop when they close. They know what they're up to, they know what they're up to, and they're stopping, they're very proactive. But they've learned up here, hey, all I gotta do is have this on my bicycle and I can leave.
It's just frustrating if they don't stay on the correct side of the road.
And we're the ones that have to suffer for it because of the mental part. Like you said, to know that you hit somebody.
We do that in broad daylight too.
Yeah, they do, but it gets some interior.
On a better note, I sat here 4 months ago, meeting here, with your other officer, was always here, Lieutenant. We had a discussion about them riding on the sidewalk. And he said, no, it's not legal, technically, but we're gonna let them do it. Because they had a big discussion, because they said, well, we can't stop these guys selling drugs, with the pole, because we can't stop them, illegal. That's why we're riding on the sidewalk, we said that was illegal, right?
No, riding down the sidewalk is not illegal.
They told me it
It's illegal
technically
in a
was.
golf cart. In a golf cart.
Golf cart is?
I think that conversation was on the golf cart. Correct. Yeah, write it down, because there's only certain restricted areas that you can ride a golf cart, such as Crazy Corner. You can have 470, or ride the sidewalks down the side of 470.
But they do it all the time.
And the thing with the poles and the backpacks, even if we stop somebody leaving for a while, or say he doesn't have his flashlight, we can't just arbitrarily search people and search their stuff either. So I mean, I know it's frustrating, but we have to have other reasons, whether they have a warrant for their arrest, and when they're riding a bike, they don't need a driver's license, and their car, they need a driver's license, so there's a few extra rules, laws that you can check on to get to them, so that we can try to get arrested, force arrest, and find drugs on them. But you're dealing with a consent situation in most cases. So unless there's some type of probable cause that person's got drugs on them, I know that's what everybody's insinuating. Just because I stop the person doesn't mean I can search them. So, and then, that's to protect their constitutional rights for legal search and seizure. So, it's a touchy situation. A lot of things have to line up for us to be able to enforce that.
We just want them to be safe. We want them to have reflectors on the front of the back of the car. They want to drive in the front of
One of the
lane. I want reflectors.
One of the problems with giving them tickets when they're riding a bicycle and they're violating the rule is all it does is affect their driver's license. Well, they're riding a bicycle because they already don't have a driver's license.
Right.
So we can write tickets all day long, but it doesn't.
I'm not inferring that I want to ticket them, but it would be nice to educate them or.
But they're not all bad.
I hate some sort of, we've been educated a bunch of times.
Some people are just tough on
If you see something, say something. Is that anonymous?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Now, don't get me wrong, they're gonna ask you questions, but you can tell them, I just want to be anonymous, this is what I'm looking at, and that's the end of it. phone number, because oftentimes if it turns into something, say we got your murderer or we have a case, we may want to ask you, would you be willing to
If I see
participate?
that, I'll let you know.
Yeah. But I'm just saying anything, like even if you saw, some type of nefarious activity out there, a window, the guy's going through it, one of the toughest laws to enforce is loitering and prowling. Because you have to prove the time and place and they're not that consistent with a law-abiding citizen. We have to give them an opportunity to dispel our alarm if they're really, of course, they're not going to tell us the truth, hey, I really plan on breaking into this place. They're going to come up with some crazy excuse. But your observations can be key in making the jump for us. So at least if you leave your numbers, you can call, say, look, we're out with the guy, this is where we're at. We may be able to or we may not. Would you be willing to be a witness in this? At least give us that opportunity to come back.
Or take a picture, is that fun?
Yeah, and all that stuff. But we have to trace the picture out of the person who took the picture. And the laws today, defense attorneys have really done a job on us as far as the way, I've been doing this for 30 years. And I can tell you, when I first got into it, to the time that I'm at now, it's difficult in proving cases and doing stuff now. It's tremendously harder than it used to be 30 years ago.
But it is also, in New York.
See something, say something, there's also a crime line. Keep your main code and non-knowledge crime line. If you solve a crime and you're from there, I will pay you money for solving that crime. And but you remain anonymous, they just give you a number and you call back in and say, hey, this is tip number 1, and did it leak anything? They can tell you yay or nay.
I don't get me wrong, that's not going to help us for the
It's gonna They're gonna email us. That's what like say we have a homicide suspect. If anybody see this car this night, you can call and say, hey, I seen that car, camera 470, blah, blah, blah. But I want to remain totally anonymous. They'll just give you an identification number and tell you to call back to later, check up on the status of the case.
And basically, anybody that doesn't know for the see something, say something, what number should they call? The non-emergency or?
Well, unless it's an emergency, depends on the situation. If you see somebody getting beat up on the side of the road, you probably should call 911. If you see some suspicious activity, like a guy riding a bike in a dark alley down a dark road, you're in a dark place with a flashlight, hey, I think that guy's casing the neighborhood, you can call the non-emergency line. Not 262. I think it's about the safety real fast.
You'll never have a problem with a dispatcher. If you call 911 on a judgment call, and you shouldn't call 911, the most you're going to do is know you're calling at this time. So, in a hurry, call 911, she'll correct you politely, and have you call 911.
That's actually, 911's faster than 793, 352, 221, because speed helps us solve cases. So.
Any more questions? I just got 3 things, and they're pretty simple. Sumter County got a grant, and it is, I don't know the details on it. It's a community planning technical assistant grant. They were awarded, Sumter County was awarded $75,000, and it's to study repetitive flooding and develop a plan to mitigate flooding in 2 disadvantaged communities, which is Bushnell and Panasoffkee. So, I don't know the details on it, but I just thought I'd share that with you. Yeah, right. I just wanted to mention also too that somebody had posted or made a website, free cycle in Sumter County. So if you have something that you want to give away, if you got a table, a couch, anything like that, go on that Sumter County, the free cycle, and put it on there. If you can list stuff for free, there's no money exchanged. And also, I wanted to mention my dog tags. I know there's a lot of dogs running around Lake Pan. If you guys know of anybody that needs a dog tag, I've got a lot of colors up here. I can make them. I've got a machine at home. They come out real professional looking. I'm asking just a donation of $5. And that way, if there's a tag on the dog, we can get that dog back home. I mean, I don't know how it's going to work, but, I'm stepping out there. I also do have a dog scanner as well, so I can check to see if the dog's got a chip. So with that being said, that's all I got. I guess it's over to you.
Well, next meeting's going to be October 3rd. Mr. Randy Mask will be here. Some asked Andy Bedell and Brad Honor to be here, but they're tied up all month with the meetings for Tuesdays. So probably in November, I'll have Mr. Arnold here and also Andy Bedell. And I know you all were asking about when they had all the facts all the way around for the different things. I'm going to have Mr. Arnold do that again and go into a little more extensive talking about each section of what different things are going on in the community. The biggest thing is I encourage you all to attend the meetings. Our meeting is the first Tuesday of every month, and their regular meeting is the second, third, and fourth Tuesday of the month. So that gives us a chance to go to their meetings. The first meeting is they discuss different things, but the second meeting is a workshop. And if we go to the workshop, we can find out what we're trying to pass. And then the third meeting, or the fourth meeting, is what they're going to vote on. So we need to be at all the meetings to find out what's going on in our community. Other than that, have any more questions?
We got one more.
I just want to throw it out there real quick. I know we look for different stuff, different speakers come to this. Would y'all be interested if we did this, say, every meeting, we have a different aspect of the sheriff's office come in, say, one night we had a K-9 demonstration. The next night we had the SWAT team come out and show you SWAT equipment, armored vehicles, stuff like that. We had the drones come out and show you where our drones are all at. Take up, 15, 20, 30 minutes of the meeting, just to show y'all what we have to offer that's out there for y'all. Would y'all be interested in that? Would it help excite people, bring people in?
Yes.
It's just kind of a learn about your sheriff's office type deal, versus me sitting here and telling you what we got, you would actually see it. So, like we bring the drones, we bring the drones in, do a demonstration of the drones, have a K-9 unit, I know they're near and dear to your heart.
Do we get the fire?
So, but anyway, I just want to get feedback on that, see if that's something y'all like us to do. We'll start lining that up and we'll start bringing in some different aspects of the sheriff's office. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you tell them probably that there is going to be a meeting before that?
That's all we got, thank you.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, meeting is now adjourned.
At one time, when we were at a meeting, they said something about something consumers coming to like Canada.
That is not right now.
That is not.
No, and I found out that the blue lines that they were putting in along 475, those are for Bushnell only. Because they're gonna be put in the substation, and so that's just gonna help them tap in, to help that Bushnell tap into the substation that they're building. I know there has been talks about it here in McCann, but it's not right now.
We need to see if we said within 5 years.
Within 5 years?
Within 5 years. We've got, we'd like to have some back in time.
That was one on the.
Dave was doing the same thing, that they were giving grants. So people were able to apply for the grants, we got that, we took that. Incredibly expensive, we looked at it. So we're going to have to get more information. Since we know it's coming. Some people live on the lake, they're going to have to come to that. We can pay for that. Yeah, so it'd be good to know, so we can prepare.
All right, we'll ask you one question. How do you like the new format?
Very nice.
Very good. All right. Okay, meeting adjourned. All right.